Good morning, fifth graders. How's everyone doing this morning? We're going to start our 2-week integrated social studies and English language arts unit. You're going to have different assignments every day. Some are going to be a little more heavily focused on language arts and some more focused on social studies. But the concept of looking at our voting system and thinking critically about voting and why it's important to vote, these are going to be questions that we're going to explore the whole 2 weeks. So if you look over here on the side, we have our standards and our essential question. Why is it important to give everyone the right to vote? And what qualities are essential for a successful president? You're going to have a few things that I'm looking at. So the first one is every day you have a really quick warm-up to complete. And we've done these before in class. And remember, these are skills that either you're expected to already have covered and mastered in 4th and 5th grade, or new things that when we're going over this, we'll see that it might be something we need to do a little mini lesson on. And so if you need to skip 1 or 2 questions per page, that's okay. Or you can just give it your best shot because you know we're going to go over it. So there's really quick, there's one for every day. I did label them by the date. You can either start your morning by completing these warm-ups, or you can just complete them for the whole week. You know how we go. We like to have choices in how we learn, so whichever works best for you. Friday, at the end of Friday, I'll post a video that'll go over all the concepts from each of these warm-up days. And of course, you have one for each of next week as well. These should take you less than 10 minutes. Then you're going to have either a social studies or language arts or both assignment. And I'm going to be assessing you by looking at your completion of comprehension questions. So if you look at your packet that has all your reading assignments in it, you're either going to have an assignment to complete, a project, so there's some kind of fun stuff in here, like making a wanted poster for a president. There's also vocabulary and comprehension questions. And this is similar to your last week's assignments. And then the main thing I'm going to be looking at are your graphic organizers and your paragraphs that you can either write or type. And you're welcome to type them on Google Docs and share them with me. Now to assess these, I'm going to be using the 6+1 writing traits. And I put this online. There's also a copy in the back of your packet. And then finally, at the end of the week, our writing skill that we're going to be really focusing on this week is how to write a really good lead or an introduction. And I'm going to give you some strategies for just expository text. There's strategies you can use for narrative writing too, but there's going to be some that are working better for expository text. And then we're going to do some kind of fun practice as well as using it with one of the pieces of our writing. So that's kind of our 2 weeks in a nutshell. So we're going to start our day like we always start off our day. So our social studies skill that we're focusing on is civic participation. That just means voting. And then also our reading informational text, RI. I can read and comprehend complex text. So I'm going to start off and check off, and I encourage you to do this too, to check them off as you finish them. Your first thing you need today is to finish your warm-up for Monday. That's labeled Monday, page 14, and it's labeled with today's date. Then you need to watch 2 of the Brain Pop videos, and I've embedded the links on your Canvas, but they're also in your packet, or you can just go and type in democracies on Brain Pop. And your Brain Pop, don't forget your login information. I put it on Canvas, but it's Melissa Dunnigan, and your password is password, capital password, 2020 exclamation point. And all your passwords, don't forget, are included on your password checklist sheet. And I'll update this for next week, that'll include your Canvas passwords as well. All right, so you're going to watch the video on democracies. They're like 2.5, 3 minutes. They're very, very short. And the video on voting. This is going to help you develop and build up your background knowledge that you're going to need for the next few days. I put 2 additional videos if you want to watch them, political parties and primaries and caucuses. And then there's quizzes you can do, and there's lots of additional activities and resources. You're welcome to use any of those. So 5 to 10 minutes for your warm-up, maybe 10 minutes for your videos, And then your assignment today is to read the section on Donald Trump and then complete your research sheet. And that's what we're going to be working on right now. So this is both your social studies and your ELA for the day. Okay, so if you haven't already watched your videos and done your warm-up, go ahead and start and do that first. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into our reading. So before you get going on your reading, so hopefully you've pressed pause if you needed to, we are going to think about how we're going to mark our reading passage. So we've read Dexter's biographies before, and remember when we're looking at expository text, we're focused on answering certain questions, and that's the stuff we really want to highlight and underline. We've done this lots and lots of times before, but we're going to be focused on who, what, when, where, why, and how. And remember, when we're reading, we're going to do the first one kind of together, but you're going to do the second one independently. Remember when we're reading that I may find some things important and you may find other things important, and that's okay. We're welcome to have a slight difference of opinion. The key is we don't want to highlight the whole paragraph. So we want to make sure that we're just highlighting the really important who, what, when, where's, why's, and how's. Now our next step we would normally do is look at our text features. There's only one text feature. It's kind of hard to see, but you can Google pictures, and I'm sure you're all familiar with our images of Donald Trump. Oh, there are other ones. So what are these things here? These are a text feature too. Yeah, bolded words and subtitles. So you can use your pencil or your crayon. I'm going to use a highlighter. We're going to read it together. And remember, it's a biography, which means it's real words about his life, and it's probably going to have names and places that we may not recognize, and that's okay. We're not going to sweat it. We're just going to do the best we can. If we're not sure of a name, we'll just use the first letter. All right. Donald Trump, and you're welcome to go to this link and read it online if you prefer, and there's lots more pictures online. I just pulled the pictures out to save trees with our copying. So read with me. At this point, if you haven't already read it, you're welcome to stop the tape and read it independently, or if you'd rather read with me, the first one we're going to do together, you're welcome to go ahead and continue. All right, so he is the 45th President of the United States. He served as president from 2017 to the present. His vice president was Mike Pence. He's a Republican, and he was inaugurated at the age of 70. Now, is 70 an answer to any of our who, what, when, where, why's, or how's? Not really. So we're not going to mark that. He was born June 14th, 1946 in New York City. That's pretty important. So he was born in 46, and he was born in New York City. He's married to Ivana Zelnikova. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to say Ivana Z. Marla Maples and Melanie Noss, First Lady and current wife. Melania, sorry. I'm not going to mark all those. He's had 3 different wives, and that's not really important to him being a president, so I'm not even going to mark those. Children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, Tiffany, and Barron, and his nickname is the Donald. Again, a nickname's not really important when he's a president. Maybe if he was someone famous, like a movie star, like Pink or Madonna, and that was the name they went by. But the Donald, yeah, not so important. All right, here we're going to go. What is Donald Trump most famous for? Donald Trump first became famous for being a businessman and a real estate developer in New York City. He later grew to fame as the star of a reality TV show, The Apprentice. In 2016, he shocked the world when he was elected as President of the United States. All right, so what is important about him? He was a businessman and a real estate developer and the star of a reality TV show called The Apprentice. Now, I could mark that he was elected president, but you know what? I already have that up here. So I'm not going to mark it again. Where did Donald Trump grow up? Ooh. It's telling us what to look for, isn't it? Donald Trump was born on June 14th, 1946, in the neighborhood of Jamaica, Queens, in New York City. Young Donald grew up in a middle-class home with 4 siblings and his parents, Fred and Mary Trump. Now, we could mark that if we wanted. Definitely an important who, his parents. Education. As a child, Donald was full of energy and often got into trouble at school. At the age of 13, his parents sent him to a New York military academy, hoping he would learn about discipline and hard work at school. Their plan worked. Donald developed into a student leader and star athlete while attending the academy. After graduating from high school, Donald attended Fordham University and then transferred to the Wharton School of France at the University of Pennsylvania, where he had graduated in 1968. Okay, so looking at this first paragraph, what do you think is the most important who's, what, when's, where's, why's, or how? Well, I definitely think it's important that he was having problems to begin with. Now, where did he go to school? Oh yeah, New York Military Academy. And how did he change? He became a leader and a star athlete. Where else did he go to school? Fordham University and the University of Pennsylvania. Early career. By the time Donald graduated from college, Fred Trump, Donald's father, had become a successful real estate developer. Donald went to work for his dad in Brooklyn, New York for the next 5 years. Anything important in there before we turn the paper? Real estate developer, worked for his dad. I would probably mark that. All right, so I'm going to stop here because I know that you can finish reading and highlighting on your own. So the next few paragraphs are going to talk about his presidency and about his adulthood and things that he accomplished. Now I'm going to flip over. When you're done reading, there are 2 different reflection sheets. The first one, it says research. Read the Dexter biography for each candidate and complete the summary sheet below. So our candidate name we're going to write is Donald Trump. And you may have to refer back to answer. This is just a reflection sheet, so it's not a time for you to worry about spelling, capitalization, or punctuation, just the ideas. So I'm going to flip back. Do you see where it shows his party? Republican. And what office is he holding currently? President. All right, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. And you may not have tons of information to go in each one, but you're going to pull out anything you can. Remember that not every biography has every bit of information about the person. So describe their background. How did they run? Had they run for office before? If so, when? What office did they win? This is going to be a lot on this biography, his early life. And you can just bullet the ideas if you want to. Remember, we're worried about thinking. Then you're going to list a few of their positions, list their main opponent, and then also one thing you appreciate about this politician. All right, hope you enjoy reading about our candidates for our next presidential election.